up to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, Torrey Horton back to the end zone.
48-yard play. Guess who? Body up the middle, making another move to the outside. 15, 10, end zone again.
Keeps it. Nice move by Brown. He's got space. He's got 6. 35-yard touchdown for Byron Brown. A record-setting night for the South Florida quarterback.
Down so far, a little bit of a high snap. Genty right up the middle. Genty has room. Ashton Genty, give him 6.
Second and long. Lagar tries to pin it in. Rotos, it does. Rotos stays up. The Suns offense 4-3 wheels. Incredible effort for Rotos.
The G5 Hive. All G5, all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive Live, and we are excited to bring you another G5 college football coverage you love each and every week. I am Luke Probasco, and I'm joined by my co-host, Justice. We got a new song. We got some gear here. I got a new camera. Merchandise store will be available soon. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching us on X, please give us a follow, a like, and a retweet. And if you're listening to us in podcast form, please rate and review. You're going to want to check out that intro, that new song that we got. And again, you're going to want to check out the merchandise, and that will be coming soon to you if you would like it. Justice, how's it going?
Going great, man. I'm pretty hyped, man. I love the song. I love the we've done a lot of graphics work this year. So hopefully everyone enjoys it. Hope folks enjoy the song, enjoyed the little video that play with it featuring our players of the week this week. Like you said, merchandise store coming up soon. We got Luke and I ordered some hats. These hats won't be available on the merchandise store, but other great merchandise will be available. So yeah, man, exciting things, exciting stuff coming, and just looking forward to talking some college football, man. Well, let's get into the week 4 in review. What do we got, Luke, there for G5 versus P4?
All right. Well, let's look at this game. We had James Madison versus North Carolina Saturday at noon. JMU wins 70-50. I don't even know what to say. This team struggled to put up like 13 points against,
Gardner
like
Webb.
you said, Gardner Webb, and then here they are putting up 70. So anything you think is possible can happen. I don't know if maybe the Dukes just kind of play up and down to their competition, and they just need to be consistently good throughout the whole thing. Maybe that's what's going on here. I haven't been able to watch a lot of James Madison being here in Iowa, but yeah, granted, North Carolina defense not all that great, but yeah, James Madison really put foot in this weekend.
They put their foot in the Tar Heels. I watched that entire game, and they dominated that game, man. Like every aspect of that game, they dominated. Clearly, they did a great job of using that bye week to get right. So again, kudos to JMU. I'm interested to see how they look this coming week.
Then we had Ohio at Kentucky. Kentucky pulls out the 41-6 win. Arkansas State at Iowa State. Iowa State wins 52-7, and it's been back-to-back weeks. Granted, Michigan and then Iowa State, but Arkansas State pulls starter Jalen Rayner.
Yeah.
So
he did. I watched some of that game. He did not look good.
There was one, that first interception early in the game, like threw it right to the guy there. I think it was the first one of the game that he had.
And Timmy McClain came in. He looked a little better than Rayner. He obviously played better against Michigan when they put him in at the end. So I don't know, we keep hearing that there's no quarterback competition, but at some point, man, you got to feel like they got to make a change, right? I mean, how long can you keep hitting your head against a brick wall and expecting different results, right? Doing the same thing over and over again
It'll be
expecting
it'd be
different
curious to
results.
see if Butch Jones waits till like a loss in conference play before he makes that change, or a couple.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I can't
get it.
remember the eligibility for Timmy McClain. I mean, obviously you got
Well, he was a true
now he'll be
freshman
a
last
sophomore.
year. He was a true
Okay, so I
freshman,
mean, so
and
you
he, and
got
he played
two.
and he burned his year last year. So he's played in 4 games now, and so he plays another game, he's burned another year. Um, yeah,
You got two young quarterbacks, so it's interesting.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see like if he plays those games with him, right? If he announces him as the starter for week 5, and he's burned a year of eligibility, and so I don't know. We saw
It's
MJ
almost
Morris.
as weird as it sounds. It's almost like Arkansas State is like the equivalent to the Michigan, where you got two quarterbacks. One's more of a pocket passer, one's more of a rusher. Not to say that that's what it is for Arkansas State, but it's like, hey, just pick one, and then build around that. And both kind of mobile quarterbacks, so you don't have to worry about that. But it is, you would like to see them, like, so far they've stuck with Rayner, but you'd like to see, if they do make that change, that they, probably hold a competitive advantage. Let's not tip our hand or whatnot. But if they do make
Yeah.
that switch, then it's like, okay, Rayner needs to transfer type thing.
Well, I'm sure that's the fear, right? If they do make the switch, that's what's holding. I would assume that's part of the decision. If they make the switch, then they're probably got to assume that Rayner is in the portal. Yeah, especially if he's already played the 4 games, right? If they make the switch now, after week 5, maybe that'll tell us more in terms of what maybe's going on. But I don't know. We'll see.
Then we had Virginia at Coastal Carolina. Virginia wins this one 43-24. I watched a very little bit of it. Didn't get enough to catch the vibes of it. Justice, were you able to lay eyes on this one at all?
I did not. I did not. It didn't look like Vasco and Coastal Carolina kind of played well, just looking at the statistics, but I did not get to watch any of that game.
Then you had Miami of Ohio at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is able to beat this MAC opponent. Notre Dame wins 28-3. Obviously did not put – I mean, it was actually pretty close in that first half in comparison to maybe, what perceived thoughts you might have of what it should look like. And then Miami at South Florida, a really good game at halftime. And then the second half was all Hurricanes as Miami wins 50-15 against South Florida.
Yeah, South Florida. I don't know. They don't. I mean, they played some tough competition, right? Miami and Alabama are two of the better teams in all of college football. But I certainly would have thought they would have looked better than they did in those 2 games.
All right. Let's move over to our G5 versus G5. We've got South Alabama at App State. That happened on Thursday. South Alabama wins 48-14.
Man.
And I mean, there's two things. There's 2 things that I want to talk about here. You got South Alabama just laying wood to everybody. They're just scoring so many points. I'm really excited for this upcoming week when they play LSU. Assuming they play all their starters, they don't rest anybody. It's thinking that we're going to save people, because that LSU defense isn't great. So that one I'm excited about. But then App State, it's been like the disappointment of App State. Joey Aguilar didn't look all that great. There's some drop passes. Caden Robinson's still looking for his first touchdown of the year. But he puts up solid stats each and every week. This App State defense just it isn't kind of what I thought it would be. Really excited preseason for this coming week. App State versus Liberty. This is going to determine a lot of the playoff seeding, and it's going to be rough. Like this isn't as great of a matchup as I thought it would be. But yeah, I mean, it's a tale of 2 teams going in 2 opposite directions so far.
It was a shocker, man. That App State offensive line is just not good. They were able to get pressure on Joey all night, and App State, they didn't have any answers for the South Alabama pass rush, and they didn't have any answers on defense for the South Alabama offense. Yeah, last year App State made a mid-season switch and really turned that defense around. So interested to kind of see if they can't figure things out here and maybe change schemes once again and kind of find some answers, because this App State team is not anywhere near at least what I expected them to be, right? I thought they were one of a top 5 team in all of G5, and they're not even a top 5 team in the Sun Belt, much less the entire G5. So yeah, super impressed with South Alabama, Gio Lopez, and that running game, man. They look really strong.
And then, like Billy Tuesday says here in the chat, we had San Jose State at Washington State on Friday. This honestly might have been the best game of the whole weekend.
The game of the year, probably. I mean, one of the games of the year, maybe.
If you were able to stay up and watch this, little defense played, throwing the ball around the yard a lot. Washington State wins 54-52.
You had fake punts. You had 2 fake punts. You had onside kicks. Not like in obvious situations, man. It was went to what, double overtime?
Well, San Jose State did San Jose State did the onside kick, right? And that was like
yep. And that was like in the first.
It was like the second. Yeah, it was like it was very, very early in the game.
And they got it.
Yep.
And then they
right
both
side.
did back-to-back fake punts.
I think it was like 7-7 when they did the
it was onside. Early in the game. And then the fake punts, Washington State's fake punt didn't work. San Jose State's fake punt did work. It was just a fun game, man. A lot of offense. And then you get to overtime and they both throw interceptions on their first possession. I was like, San Jose State had the ball first.
And then they threw the interception. And
then I'm like, well, Washington State has to kick a field goal. So you figure, they're just going to run the ball a couple times, right? Oh no. They tried to get a touchdown, and they threw an interception. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? It was just crazy, man. It was crazy. Mayhem. Offensive mayhem. Sure. It was, and then definitely a fun game.
Then we had another game that you were heavily involved in watching. That was Tulane at Louisiana. Tulane wins 41-33. What were your takeaways from there, Justice?
Both teams, I thought, I came away more impressed with Louisiana than I did before the game. I thought they kind of hung in there. Tulane looked good. They did rotate the quarterbacks. They would rotate in Ty Thompson for Darian Mensah, and pretty much every time Ty Thompson came in, you knew he was running the ball. So it was either a short yardage situation, 4th and 1, 3rd and 2, something like that, or 1st and goal from the 3, they would put Ty Thompson in, and virtually, I think almost every time he ran the ball, and so that was kind of my big takeaway there from Tulane. But Louisiana looked good. Ben Wooldridge had a good game. Terrence Carter had a big game for their Cajuns, and I came away more impressed with the Cajuns than I had not watched them this year. I didn't have super high expectations. I thought they were kind of just an okay team. But yeah, they both teams looked good. It was a good game.
Then the game that we talked about earlier, we have Memphis at Navy, where Navy wins 56-44. I don't know if there's much more to cover. We talked about players of the weeks. We talked about this game earlier. East Carolina at Liberty, 6 p.m. start, turned into 11 p.m.
11 p.m. start. With weather. And they didn't end until 2 a.m.
Yep, we got a Hawaii-type game out there at Liberty, where Liberty wins 35-24.
ECU gave Liberty a game, man. They looked like they were going to win, or had a shot at winning, and then they just kind of, towards the end of the game, they just kind of fell apart, man. I don't know. I'm still not super impressed by Liberty. ECU has a great defense. I think their offense turns the ball over too much, but it was a great game. Like I said, it didn't end until 2 a.m. for those players, so that had to be kind of crazy, right? Getting up for a 6 p.m. game and then you don't get done till 2 a.m.
Well, it's like get up and then like you get all stretched and then you have the weather delay, and then you have to get up again, and then the whole flight back.
Yeah. Well, they probably
Then,
didn't. My guess is they didn't fly.
they'd
I
probably
mean, Greenville's
drive.
close enough. They bust. Would be my guess.
Yeah. And then we have Buffalo at Northern Illinois. We talked about this one where Buffalo wins 23-20 in overtime. Toledo at Western Kentucky. I got to watch a little bit of this game.
Yes.
Western
Yeah.
Kentucky wins 26-21. This was just a good game. More defensive than it was an offensive shootout. Thought, that Tucker Gleason might, toss the ball all around the yard, have Veltkamp toss the ball all over the yard. And yeah, these defenses came ready to play.
Yeah. And Tucker had a couple just terrible interceptions, man. I mean, I thought Toledo looked like the better team, but they didn't win. The turnovers there at the end kind of killed them.
All right. Then we've got Fresno State at New Mexico Saturday. Fresno State wins this one 38-21. Something I did not mention in the injury section that I didn't put in that injury section for you, Justice, and that was the biggest takeaway. Yeah, Malik Sherrod dressed. They showed him plenty of times in jersey, in pads, but he didn't take a snap. They've got UNLV this next week, so sounds like they're trying to keep him fresh for that one. Maybe sounds like he tweaked something in practice. Not exactly sure what it is, but they felt like they could get away with a win at New Mexico. They had him ready to go just in case, but looking forward to UNLV is what it sounds like. Then we've got go ahead.
I was going to say New Mexico. I mean, I think they're on the right track. I think Bronco Mendenhall will get them where they need to be. They've been. I think they've been better than anyone expected this year. I think there's as long as they can keep Bronco and Devin Dampier, I think there's a bright future ahead for the Lobos.
And that's going to wrap it up for our tight ends and our waiver wire. Come back and join us next week as we discuss what happened in week 4 or what happened in week 5, as well as we look forward to week 6 of the 2024 season. And as always, bring you up to date on all the latest news and the happenings in the world of G5 college football. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're watching us on X, give us a retweet, a like, a follow. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please subscribe and leave those 5-star ratings and review. Thank you all for your support. Until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.